Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, good night, where some of you all are on the East Coast. We are so happy to see you all coming into the building to celebrate just the glow and love of Darbrielle Thomas. Those of you who are in here, I'm sure you all know her, right? Because you wouldn't be in here, right? So before we get to all of the loving things that are going to go on for the next 30 minutes, I do want to ensure that you all have taken a look-see to, I don't know if it is on your left side or if it is on your right side, but just a little bit of housekeeping. We want to just make sure that folks are muted. As we have all been in this virtual space, there have been certain meetings where people get unmuted and you hear all the things happening in the background, the clamor and calamity. We really want to focus on Darbrielle tonight. So please ensure that you're muted. And when it's time for questions, we're asking that you do utilize the chat feature to type in your questions, and we will make sure that we get those things asked. And I believe some folks have already submitted some questions. So we're really excited to get into this thing. Is that all right? I'm trying to fix my screen so that I see things. I don't know if I'm the only one out here in this virtual world that has still not gotten used to this whole thing, but I'm trying to make it work out. I don't see Darbrielle. I want to see her. As she is coming to the stage, the virtual stage, that is. What has not been said or understood about this amazing talent that I could share tonight that would really encapture who she is as a being other than love, right? If you have had one moment, 1 minute, an experience with her, you left that experience feeling seen. She has a very great way of really tapping into your greatness, listening, and really hearing you with no judgment, right? And so it's really fortunate for all of us who have experienced Darbrielle to be here today, to be able to just glow and watch her shine. I think along her way, that's what we have all seen, right? Is Darbrielle coming into herself. And so today we're going to get to see a little bit more of that. We're on this journey with her and we're so grateful. I'm happy to have her turn her camera on now so that we can all welcome her into this space.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad that you guys are all here. It's super crazy to be doing this, but I'm so excited nonetheless. It's been a really crazy journey over the past year and a half. Huge thank you to Misha and John, both my editor and illustrator. Super grateful for you guys. I'm so excited to answer any and all questions pertaining to the book and the process. So we could just get started right now.
Let's jump into it. This is very much so your personality. I love it. So, and speaking on that, getting into it, let's get into the book. Talk to us about the title.
Okay, Love Oirs, right? It's kind of offbeat, but I was in front of all the collections that I had, all of the short stories and things, and I was just like, this does read like a memoir, but I don't want to call it love memoirs. I want it to be kind of edgy, something people have never heard before. And so I was just like, love memoirs. And I'm always kind of trying to create different words for myself and defining things for myself. I think that's just kind of me. And so I settled on Love Oirs. And it's kind of, ambiguous in a way because a lot of the pieces in the book definitely illustrate my warring with love, actual warring, and actually, getting into the meat of love and what that looks like for me, platonic, romantic, familial, like whatever the case is. And then alongside of that, of course, it is a labor of love and a telling of all of these, well, not all of these, but like a particular moment in my life. And so I settled on Love Oirs, and it wasn't I got a title and it's great. It was a lot of different like processes and being like, wow, I don't know if I like this title. I don't know if people will relate to it. Kind of sounds silly, but for all of those reasons, I kind of was just sitting myself down like, Darbrielle, this is the exact reason why you should keep this title, because it is something that is different. It does kind of encapsulate, not kind of, it definitely encapsulates what I'm trying to portray in this piece, in this work. And so I settled on that. And I chose that. And I think the title chose the book.
Mm. I love all that labor of love and just feeling like, I think, putting so much of yourself into this piece and now getting ready to share this out with the world. I want to hear a little bit about that process. Like, how did you get this work together?
Yeah, so I was in therapy last year and the year before last. And in therapy, as one does, I was doing some deep diving into some emotional work. And one day after a session, I came home and I just started writing just some things that were on my mind. And while I was writing it, I felt like, some emotions coming up, some difficult emotions. So I go to therapy the next session and I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I did this thing. I kind of want to shy away from it. And my therapist was just saying to me, that's the exact reason why you should continue writing this thing, is because it's difficult, is because there is a upsurge of emotion that's coming out of you. You don't know where this is going to lead. Continue doing this. And so I kind of took that as a challenge because, I don't back down usually. And so I took that as a challenge, and it turned into this huge work of vulnerability, and a lot of different short stories and poetry that I have been kind of just looking at, not knowing what to do with. And when I started writing that, I was just like, okay, this makes sense. This is what I was supposed to be doing. This is why I've been writing these works for this moment.
And talk to me about in this work and all that it encapsulates and the vulnerability, like really just putting all of your business out here into the world. Like, what's the time span on this stuff? And yeah, we definitely, William, stand for vulnerability. And I think the people are going to be really excited once the book drops. But it's hard to be vulnerable, number one, right? Especially as a Black woman in America, and not feel judgment on that vulnerability. So how were you able to, as you say, like just push forward and just trust the process, besides going through the therapy? Like, how were you able to articulate these pieces?
Yeah. It just took a lot of writing, a lot of rewriting, a lot of contemplating on what actually took place, the events that actually took place. And also, to your first question, all of these events, the events of the short stories and things of that nature took place in the midst of my 20s. And then the event that I'm specifically speaking about in my memoirs happened 20s and prior. So, like my teenage years, my formative years. But definitely a lot of thinking, a lot of changing my mind, a lot of talking to my friends, a lot of, speaking to best friends saying, I don't know if I can do this. Are you sure I can do this? I don't know if I can do this. A lot of talking to myself saying, you have to do this. This is something that someone can be blessed by. This is something that someone can, learn something from. Even if I change one life, even if somebody gets touched by one piece,
Yeah.
in the work, I feel like I've accomplished something. So definitely a lot of talking, a lot of understanding and understanding of self,
Mhm.
and just recognizing that I belong in this season right now, and a lot of talking to God.
That made me take a deep breath in. I think, it's interesting. Writers are really open, and like it's intrinsic work, and there's a lot of soul searching and sharing whatever comes to, right? And how that impacts you as you're going on this journey of a love war. Who are some artists right now that are doing that for you?
Ooh, well, definitely an author that has inspired me so much was the late Elin Harris. He's a gay author. And ever since I started reading his work, I just was in love. The way that
Mm.
he wrote anything was just so amazing. He definitely revolved a lot of his fiction work around gay men in New York and gay romance and, different scenarios and different backgrounds. And it just highlighted so much for me. Definitely me being young and queer, I definitely gravitated and adapted to that work. And he inspired me to try to make my words sound like his. He just kind of encapsulated everything, every emotion that I was feeling at young ages and different times in my life. I was so inspired by him and continue to be inspired by his work. Another artist, Tank from Tank and the Bangas, my favorite band. And also not celebrity, but definitely my family and friends.
Mm.
Continue to inspire me, continue to motivate me, continue to encourage me to have the audacity.
Mm.
Pretty much everyone in this room has done that for me in some particular way, and I can't be any more grateful than I am.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's love.
Yeah.
I am, and talking about Darbrielle having the audacity, right? Because I think you, yes, all the audacity. I caught that too, Misha. Is 10 years ago to get to this place. What would Darbrielle need to have known 10 years ago to live in that authenticity, to live out loud and in that in the and have the audacity,
Mm.
right? To get to this moment. What does she need to hear from you?
It's a heavy question. Give me one moment.
You got
I
it. We here for you.
I I think that Darbrielle at 20 21. I think that Darbrielle at 21 needed to know that perfect is make believe, and that exactly what she was doing at that age was exactly what she was supposed to be doing, and that she wasn't making as many mistakes as she thought she was, and she was far more loved than she ever could have imagined.
Mm.
And I would just remind her to just sit in that love for just a little while longer, instead of allowing herself and society to kind of push this longing onto her that wasn't even hers to begin with. And I would just tell her I love her, give her a hug, tell her she's fine, and tell her to keep doing what she's doing. Yeah.
Summertime fine.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, Man, I appreciate you going back and finding her and bringing her up here into this moment to share today with you, because we have to recognize the past as we're in the present, because it helps to propel us forward, right? It helps to also tell our story, right? We are not shy. We do not get quiet about the things that have made us who we are today. And
Mhm.
so, I, as many others, are looking forward to hearing what you have to say in this memoir to us, to excite and help us to reimagine relationships, help us to reimagine who we see ourselves to be and how we're showing up in this world. If you could think of, and I know you mentioned Elin Harris, but what was one book that did that for you, that completely like shifted how you saw life for yourself?
Ooh, one book that shifted my perspective and how I saw life for myself. Wow. Looks at bookcase. I think that it would be. I think that it would have to be On the Eighth Day She Rested by J.D. Mason. It's one of the books that I posted on the book page on Instagram. That book just really kind of illustrated so many different facets of what it is to be a Black woman,
Mm.
um, and what we can do, and the depth of our vulnerability, the depth of our strength. Um, the strength, even in the vulnerability, like it just illustrated like this 360 circle of woman. And if you know anything about me, I stand for women, Black women especially. I feel like everything that I do and say, I try to, but Black women
Mm.
at the end of every sentence, at the end of everything I do, and the beginning of everything I do, because I was raised by Black women. Some of the strongest people that I know, some of the strongest warriors that I know, prayer warriors, warriors period, have been women. And so JD Mason definitely kind of introduced me to that feeling. And yeah, it definitely set the precedent for the rest of my life, or my life up until this point.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
So what do you hope for in relation to as you're entering into this industry strongly, right? With all the audacity, what are you hoping for yourself?
I hope for visibility. I hope for understanding, because right, I do recognize that this work is for me, but I do want all of you and beyond to just understand, and to just take in and be there with me. I think that one of the best things about writing is that an author can just bring you there. Like, I'm at a restaurant, I'm eating pasta, the light is dim, someone's sitting across from me. Like, I want you to smell the pasta. I want you to hear the music. I want you to close your eyes and see the dim lighting. Like, I just want everyone that reads this and any other work that I release next to just be there with me and be in the moment. And if I can master that, I think that I've accomplished what I wanted. I just want people to understand and to be present in the moment with me. And that would be all that I need.
We present. We right here with you in the moment, right
We
now, right?
present.
I know I'm not the only one with the big Kool-Aid smile right now. We are here for you and present like Parmesan.
Well,
That's
shut
real
up.
present. That's got a little stink on it. You
No,
know,
I
that's
love Parmesan.
some Atlanta presence. I love it. A little stink on you. So, we're here today because we're on this journey with you as you are introducing yourself to us in a different facet. And I am wondering, it wouldn't be, I don't know, can you give us a little sneak of something? Can you, a little excerpt
A
or
little
a
excerpt?
little juice?
What can I sneak you guys? What can I slide you guys on the sly? I don't know. I don't know what I can share right now.
Think about it. We've got a
Yeah.
question
Okay.
right now from
Okay.
Tracy, who is a big fan of your writing,
Oh,
and asking if you could speak a little on whether this feels like a major departure from your past work or a continuation.
definitely a continuation. I've grown as a writer. I absolutely know that. But as far as the feeling, as far as the tone, I don't think it's a huge departure. I think that it's an arrival. But the tone hasn't changed. The feeling behind it hasn't changed, but definitely not departing, absolutely arriving. I'm so excited to arrive.
All right. Or since we'll take this a submitted question. Is there anyone you wish you could read your book to? Is there anyone you wish could read your book? Is there anyone you wish could read your book?
Could read my book.
Sorry for
Anyone
my reading.
that could read my book.
Mm-hmm.
First, I'll start with family. I don't know why I said family. Family. It would begin with my mom. If she could read my book, that would be chill.
Mm.
And then celebrity. I don't know why this is coming to mind, but Issa Rae. I just would love to hear what she would have to say. And if she could make it a show. No.
Yes, put it out there in the atmosphere.
No,
We're manifesting.
Issa.
Absolutely. Okay, here's a from D. Improvise a story. Here's the sitch. Little girl walking home from school on the first day of 10th grade. Hit me with the intro to this story.
Little girl walking home from 6th grade. Okay, well, actually,
10th grade.
10th grade. Okay, well, let me do it younger. And let me also answer your question, Donyá, because you wanted an excerpt. And so I'll give you a loosely detailed excerpt about
Yes.
a girl walking home from school in the 5th grade or the 4th grade, not the 10th grade. Apologies. So I used to go to school in Long Beach, and from the school in Long Beach, I would have to make a trek through a park. Would have to make a trek through a park and then finally get to my apartment I lived in at the time. This park, it just had a lot of high schoolers. You know, high schoolers, they're sitting around, they're talking, they're smoking, they're drinking, you know, doing high school kid things. I was a very small kid and they were very large. And my grandma used to come and walk me to and from school. And so, but she was getting older. She couldn't really do that anymore. And so sometimes she would miss picking me up. And I people always ask me like, how did you know? How do you know you love God? How did you remember you love God? And so when I was walking through the park, all of these people just scared me, and I hated crowds. I didn't know what they were going to do to me, what they were going to say to me, and I would always have this mantra in my head like, God, I know you're watching me. I know you're watching me. I know you're watching me. Protect me. Like this little kid, just like praying, like, God, I know you're watching me. I know you're with me. I know you're with me. And it would just be me and him. And we would be cooling and we would walk through the park and I would get home every single time safely. And I just, it never made sense to me to not be a follower of God and believe in God. I don't want to throw this into here if you know, I don't want to be like that person, but that is very a part of me, a very big part of me is my faith. And yeah, that was the first time that I was just like, wow, I love him and he loves me back and he's with me and he's always guiding me. And that kind of protection felt very good. And it was amazing. It's amazing to think back to that I was that young and able to call on him and allow him to guide me. So I hope that answered your question.
Double fold. And I think, you know, what I appreciate about you is you always have this consideration for all, right? And even in you explaining that your story, your truth, having a consideration for how what you're saying is impacting others. And I love that you are centered in faith and that faith guides you and that you are completely tapped in and are listening. And we're grateful for that guidance. And you know, what I just got from that was to be unapologetic. However I show up in my realness and my rawness, that is who you're going to get. And I can't be ashamed nor deny who makes me and all of the experience, you know. So I want to know, like, as we're ramping up to get to the memoir, Love Oirs. I have a bit of a list, so I've been trying to not say it if you haven't noticed. But I love the play on the words because love is war at times. It's always tugging us in multiple different ways, and we're always growing and getting stronger through the experiences of love from multiple folks, situations internally with yourself. And not to like push past that because we want to celebrate that. But are you already thinking about new projects or are you working on anything else right now as you've kind of finished this?
Yeah, I have been thinking of doing a new project. The way that this is kind of shaped now, a lot of the short stories and poetry that I've written in Love Oirs, like I said, existed during my 20s. So I was just thinking maybe I could do this for my 30s and then release a book in my 40s. But the way that this is going, I don't think I'm gonna be sitting down too long. I think that I am gonna be writing a bit more as things happen and as things fall to me in experience, I feel like I'm going to continue writing. But yeah, definitely. I absolutely would love to do another project. I don't think that this is the end or the only thing that I will do. But I'm very excited that this is the first thing that I'm doing. But yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be writing more.
Awesome. We
Yeah.
have about 5 more minutes, so if folks want to put some more questions in the chat, please do so. Miranda is kind of running it back and wants and said, "I love you, Darbrielle." I don't know if that's Miranda's voice. It probably is not. I don't even know why I did it like that. But Miranda wants to know, if your book did become a show, who would you want to play you?
Oh man. I don't know. I don't know. You know what, Miranda? I don't know if you're familiar with the show One on One. I used to, when I was little, be like, oh my God, I look just like Spirit from One on One. So if I had to pick anybody, I would find Spirit from 101 and be like, hey girl, can you play a 16-year-old dark skinned girl? Thanks so much. But yeah, I think that would be her or me.
Thank you. Thank you for that. John is curious about your process, your creative process. Can you kind of shed light on that a little bit?
Oh, I just wish it was a sophisticated process, but it's not. My sister can attest to this too. When I write, I have hella tabs open. Usually a good chunk of those are like social media, um, because I know what I'm doing, right? Like it is a process. I just need to kind of put it off a little bit and then get to it. Another kind of formidable process is listening to music. I in my free time love making playlists, love making playlists. And so if I'm trying to be in a specific mood, I will listen to a playlist and let that take me away. I'll do little exercises with details, trying to reduce something down to like the bare minimum of something, and that's like kind of something I get to do to get my kind of mental juices flowing, is doing like those kind of detailed exercises. And also, yeah, just a lot of procrastination is my is my process, but I do get to it. I think that all of those things included make up my process, and I don't think it's going to change anytime soon, but maybe it will. But yes, that's my process.
If it's working for you, let it work for you.
Period.
Um, and that's on period. That's on period. I is there another question? Oh, okay, yes, because we're getting ready to wrap it up. But Austin's asking, putting this together, I imagine you relived some difficult experiences with existing relationships. Do you have a particular chapter or story in the book that stood out as particularly challenging?
Yeah. Yes, I do. Probably a piece surrounding forgiveness,
Mm,
forgiving parental figures. It's hard, especially when you at first glance don't understand why the things that happened and the way that they did. There is a lot of blame, a lot of self-blame that I experienced, and just the whole dynamic around forgiveness, because that is a specific part of the book, was just like very, very difficult for me. Um, and to rehash some of the trauma that came along with it was very difficult. And that is why in therapy, I was just like, girl, I'm not writing this anymore. I'm just not.
mm,
But I needed to. And that's the part. There's tons of memes out there, but that's the part that is very true. Healing doesn't look like glitz and glamour all the time. Some aspects of it is, sure, but when you're in the thick of it, it looks like you're really fighting yourself. Love
mm.
wars. It really looks like you are going to bat at yourself. You are trying to save this little girl that you don't remember. You are trying to still fight this person that put you through all of these different things, and you still have to get to a place, or at least I had to still get to a place to forgive them. And that was really difficult to rehash.
Mm. Deep breaths, deep
Yeah, seriously.
breath. This has been, I was serious. I was super serious about that. You've
Yeah.
shed light on so much, and you have really given yourself to us in these past 30 minutes, and been very open. And I know that I feel like I can speak for everyone that's in this call and say that we are here championing you and excited to see what is to come, and cannot wait to pre-order our books,
Yeah.
to go on this journey and to do the ride and grow with you.
Yeah.
Um, there's some love coming in the chat right now, and I I don't want to end this. But if there are folks that want to just throw some love in the chat right now, as we're getting ready to close, please feel free to do so. We hold you in high esteem, Darbrielle. We know that out out of an imperfect world, there is perfection in who you are and who you show up to be for yourself, for others. The way that you are able to love, show love, exude love, and give it so freely, has impacted us so deeply. And we are honored to be here with you and to see what is all to come for you, right?
Yes, thank
And
you.
so please take some time to read some of these things that are coming into the chat,
Yeah, I'm
um,
trying to. There's
because
so
folks are loving on you.
yeah. Also, I just want to go and say hi. Hi, Misha. You're just the first person that I see on my side. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, baby. Also, hi, Austin. Hi, T. Oh, T, you look beautiful. Hi, T. Hi, Carla. Thanks for coming. Hi, John. Like that shirt, who bought it? Hi, Will. Will's just cracking up. Hi, Malia. Hi, babe. Hi, Shonda. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Lex. Hi, babe. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Monica. Auntie Ramona. Hi, Auntie Ramona. Hi, Erica and Miranda. Deanna, what up, girl? Oh, hi, Lizzie. Hi, Keisha. Hi, Kenya. Okay, cool. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh man, I love you guys so much. Thank you for rocking with me. It's been great. And I just more than anything, I just hope you guys love this because I really do. I mess with it, low key, high key. And I'm just so excited. I'm excited for you guys to read it. I'm excited for the feedback. And yeah, I'm just really, really stoked that y'all are on this ride with me. And I can't wait to see y'all soon, man.
One last plug. Tell us again where we can find it, when we can find it, and
Yes.
what is up to come.
Yes. So upcoming, this is a series. This is the first of the series. So me and Donyá will be chatting again. And you all will be chatting with me too. So the next session will be on June 21st. And that's going to be a discussion on love. I'm going to release more details about that in the coming weeks. So just get ready with questions, get ready to be vulnerable because I will be. So if you're into that kind of thing, you can come be vulnerable together with me. And then the next event, I will be releasing more information on that as that comes as well. The book will be released on September 21st. And it'll be available for pre-order on August 21st. There will be an event September 21st for the release. It will be in person, safely distanced, and there will also be more information on that as well. But yeah, I'm so excited and I can't wait to see you guys and I can't wait for you guys to read this book.
Yes, we can. William said, "Please take my money." Same. We are here for it, and you see the love.
I do,
We're
man.
ready. We're ready to do this and come back with all of our thoughts and just like be real raw, like a I'm thinking about Waiting to Exhale, and I don't the everyone falls.
Thank you. Yes, I need
in love sometimes. Shoo-be, 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 shoo. I had to. It was like, you know, when you start something, you can't stop it. Thank y'all. This is all about Darbrielle, and I don't know what that was, me being awkward and also vulnerable. So
I love it. Yeah,
it is what it was, and I'm not going to apologize for it. It felt right, and that's all. Period. Okay. We love y'all. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.